Good morning. Welcome back to my channel. Um, so this video, as you can see by the title, it's sort of gonna be like my spin on leveling up before entering 2024. So during this month time that I've been off, there's been a lot of things that I've been, just sort of working on, just personal, just things getting me together. So I want to go over 4 tips. So the first thing I want to start by saying is, this leveling up and reinvention of yourself, you are not losing yourself. You are pretty much saying this is who I want to be. These are my goals. What do I need to do to get there? Who is the person that I need to show up as every day to reach that? So I've sat down and I was like, what does my better self look like? What does future Cassandra look like? And I took that really to heart, and it wasn't like something that was like a one day thing. It was like, okay, not just like, why do I want to be, having this X amount of money in my account, or why do I want to see myself and my kids in this type of neighborhood? Like, what does that personally mean to me? Like, there has to be a feeling behind those goals. So when things get hard, which is going to be one thing with my first tip, which is setting boundaries and to relate the two. So when I was like, what is it that I want for myself and my kids, and how does setting boundaries help me to become my higher self? Well, when you set a boundary, first of all, it's to protect you. It's not about the protection of others or their feelings. And when you set a boundary, there's something you need to keep in mind when you start that. If you say, look, I don't want to accept calls after 9, let's just say that's going to be a boundary that you set up, because a boundary doesn't have to be a boundary is whatever you want it to be. So let's say you're going to say, I'm not accepting any more phone calls after 9 unless they're emergent, you know. So, or I'm just not accepting any phone calls after 9. Let's use that for an example. So I would say, okay, what does that mean for me? Is that because I want to use that time, to wind down for myself? Is that something personal? I just want to have that time for me and my spouse, or is that sort of a cutoff time? I'm gonna be, maybe it's like I just don't want to be bothered, and it's like you want that time. Let's say you go to bed at 10. It's like, okay, 9 to 10 is for you. You know, that is setting a boundary because that's something you want personally. Does it make sense? So, like, one of my boundaries is, I've reached out I know within the past year or so, very strongly. So, there are certain topics that family members can't talk to me about, such as coming to me about other family members. That's something that, I just set up and was like, hey, I understand you want to get that off your chest, but if you're going to be coming to me talking about, let's just say, Bob and his new girlfriend, I really don't want to sort of, you could talk to me about anything else. I just don't want to, really discuss their relationship and things like that. And I say that because sometimes people bring things to you that sort of bring a vibe, and then you sort of get to thinking on it, and you sort of bring it into your personal life. Not to say there's things that people are going through that you can't take, but if I feel like it's bringing me more stress and taking peace from me and not bringing peace to me, then I feel like it doesn't serve me. So that's one of the things, and that's just a simple way to say, like, hey, this is how I'm setting up my boundaries. So another thing, number 2, that I want to say when it comes to leveling up, reinvention, step into the higher you. Look at my hair, Lord. Stepping into the higher you is making sure that it's not just the outer work, but the inner work as well. Yes, getting all cricket, getting all dolled up, things like that. It's really, it really do make you feel good. And of course, when you look good, when you look good, you feel good. And it goes the other way as well. When you feel good, you're going to make sure you look good. And you're just going to be glowing. I've had some people come up to me and be like, you just look really, I really like that. Or, you are so pretty. I love your smile. Or just little things like that. And it's like, I wasn't necessarily doing anything, like, what I'm saying? Like, haven't had, nothing major going on. But it's to say, like, when you start to feel good and when you start to, invest in yourself, like, it will show. And everything else that you do, like the products, the glitz, the glam, your jewelry, your makeup routine, what you wear, what you smell like, that's just a plus. So going into the new year, when you step into your higher self, remember to also work on the inner you. Why do you feel like, having your hair done or your nails done, what does that mean to you? Something I've been doing is making sure I keep my nails done. And this wasn't something I've always done. Back in high school, I didn't want to draw attention to myself. That was something I was like, no, I don't really want to do that. I was really safe with colors if I did fingernail polish colors. But there was other things I sort of tried to experiment with, like with hair. But at the time, it wasn't things that were just popular, amongst my peers. But now it's more of what do I like? Why does Cassandra want to wear this? And then I live in that, because at the end of the day, it's all about me leveling up. My neighbor, she could be still asleep right now. She may not realize why I'm doing and going so hard as to why I'm going. It's because I see myself at a higher level. And everybody won't see you like that. Everybody won't grasp your goal. Everybody can't see your dream because it's, like I said, it's your dream. It's not theirs. The third thing that I want to say as we get ready to go into 2024, reinvention and leveling up yourself, is making sure we are being very mindful. I know as we approach, the new year, we do these new year resolutions. And of course, everybody, it'll be all over the news. They'll be talking about, weight loss, getting in shape, people getting on board, and then all of a sudden, they're falling off. Let's make sure that we're stepping up into this weight loss journey, and that I know some may not want to hear it, but I'm gonna say it anyway. Make sure you are praying about it. Make sure you say, God, help me to step into this, this new phase that I'm trying to get into, get my weight down. But also, God, help to humble me as I step into this weight loss goal. Make sure I am ready for what's to come, with this weight loss. Sometimes we ask for things, but we really don't know, like, how to handle a blessing. And you may be like, Cassandra, why am I asking? Like, I need to be humble to be smaller. You do. You do. Just like, let me give you an example. Just like sometimes when people get a promotion, they mindset change. And they start, how people say, you want to act a little funny. Don't act a little funny because God shared some weight with you. Ask God to humble you and to be like, as I lose this weight, let me remember, God, that you give me this body every day to go out and do your work. You give me this body every day to place healthy food into. You give me the opportunity every day to wake up in this body that you've allowed me to exercise, do good things for, nourish, take care of. So remember, like, because just as fast as you lost it, we all know just as fast as you can get it. And it's just to say, and that's with anything. If it's something that you want, you pray about it. And I'll say, God, oh, Jesus, oh, please bless me to put me, into this new house. But I also say, God, also equip me with a job so that those bills can be paid and that I'm not, struggling, because I am now in the house that I asked for. But also make sure that I have the finances and the resources, to pay for that. Dear God, please put me and my kids in a neighborhood that is safe. Also, God, place us in an environment, also in that safe neighborhood where we are around people that will help us grow and that have the best, interest and outlook for my kids, and those where my kids can flourish, and think places where I can grow, amongst their parents. God, please bless me with a job. Also, God, make sure that job is not taking me from my family. Make sure that job, is also providing. It's also hitting a passion in me. And, something that I genuinely care about.